God, this anime gets better and better as the weeks go on, I must say. Holy Christ, this episode was actually amazing. Oh my God, Koichi Stand. It was just... It was gold sauce, I must say. Like, I have no words for the actual stand itself. Like, in a sense, when it actually appeared and he looked like he went Super Saiyan level 2, I was like, so your data telling me Koichi just went past Super Saiyan level 1 and went straight to number 2 and just decimated. I was like, Koichi, mate, I've been waiting for this whole entire time. I always say Koichi's gonna get stronger as a character. Like, he's the kind of character which I imagine will get stronger. And he did in this episode to a point where sometimes he got a little bit creepy. I was like, mate, a bit creepy there. But he looked literally like he's about to go and fight Cell in the Cell games, and then also probably ask for like Goku's like kind of help to take down Cell using Focus on Kamehameha. I was like, Koichi, mate, like you're gonna take down Cell next. He's literally gonna leave that town and he's gonna take down Cell. But either way, it was an amazing like stand itself. In the sense, I'm kind of sitting here wondering maybe there's actually more to his stand than we actually imagine right now. In the sense, is there more to his stand? In the sense, right now we actually seen his ability. In the sense, what happened was Tamami's kind of like getting beaten up by the stand, and what happens is he finds out like, oh wow, it's not doing anything to me. Like these punches are weak. But no, that's not the whole entire ability. What happens is afterwards, the actual like punch he actually does gets written in katakana, the actual like kind of SFX you see in manga. And what happens then is the actual like sound that emits from that punch actually gets echoed inside his body, in a sense basically to a point where Koichi has to make it stop, otherwise it can get really, really overbearing to the point where it actually can drive a person insane, because it actually drives Tamami insane. And then I was kind of like, that's interesting. In the sense, I guess also you can do it on any surface as well, not just a human body. You can actually do it on any surface you actually want. So if he does it on the ground, you can actually able to stop things happening. I kind of like, I want to see what he can do with that stand. In the sense, what will he do next with it? Is he actually going to pose a lot more to his anime than what he's done right now? In the sense, he has done quite a lot so far. He's actually proved himself to be quite strong. Right, going forward now, we kind of understand that Keitra has actually put a load of stand users on the map. So I'm not too sure whether or not next week we're going to get another stand user that Keitra has actually put on here. So either way, I want to see what Koichi actually does next, because it looks like he can go somewhere. It looks like he can actually pose something to his actual storyline more than what he's doing at the moment. He actually become a fighter. He actually become like a person who will be in battle a lot more. If that's the case, I'll be freaking impressed. I'm gonna be like, yes. I'm like, so I want to see Koichi do more, because Koichi's a freaking amazing character. In a sense, I saw it from day one. Since I saw it when he was actually researching into the actual module backstory, and like he was researching into it, I was kind of like, yeah, there's more to his character than we're getting right now. There's got to be more to him. Like in a sense, I kind of seen like at first he seems like a very scared person, but deep down he seems like a very strong person, someone who wants to get stuff done. So hopefully as the weeks go on, we actually see that. Hopefully we actually see him become this formidable character in module. But still, Tamami as well. Oh my God, he's such an asshole. I must say, I was like, oh, when he almost drove Koichi's mum to suicide, I was kind of like, oh my freaking God, this guy's pretty freaking like horrible. Like in a sense, his actual stand ability is really freaking interesting. It's called the lock. Basically, what it does is if the person feels guilty, like say if the person does something to him and actually he managed to make him feel guilty, the actual like a lock and key appears on the person's chest, and to a point where it can become overbearing and almost drive a person to suicide. Instead with Koichi's mum, it almost drives her to suicide. But what happened was, in the beginning of the episode, Koichi's just wandering around like town on his bike. Like he's got this freaking awesome bike. He's like, yeah, I've got this bike and everything. Like he's really freaking happy. And he runs over a cat. I was like, just a kid cannot catch a break. And like this kid literally cannot catch a break. And then what happens is Tamami actually manipulates him into actually kind of saying, well, if what you're going to do, this is actually my cat. Like, are you going to do anything about it? Or you're actually going to pay up or anything? And in the end, basically, he actually manages to make Koichi feel guilty and actually made that lock and key appear. And basically, it gets worse and worse. And but when Koichi lies, the actual lock gets bigger and bigger. So I guess into a point where he actually made people feel so manipulated in the sense that they actually have to give up and actually just give in. And it was just, I was sitting there going, Tamami's an arsehole. Like, he deserved what was coming to him. In the sense, that one scene when, I guess, Koichi was laying into him, and he says, oh, if I stab myself right now, and then throw the knife at him, so he actually grabs it, and then his mum and sister walks in, they will then kind of have that thing more overbearing to a point where they might commit suicide. It actually does work. I was kind of like, fudge. I was like, damn. Like that is something. Like, that is really something. Like, I was kind of like, Jesus Christ, this guy's A-class manipulator. In a sense, the first, when he actually makes his mother, Koichi's mother, feel guilty. That one scene where he's like, oh yeah, well, my wallet got switched with his wallet, because when we got into each other, my wallet got switched with his. So he actually might have my wallet, so could you give it back to me? And kind of like, well, I don't think I do. And he's like, I can prove that you have my wallet because I have a receipt from a dinner that I had last night. If it's in there, that's my wallet. And it actually does have that receipt in there. And at that point, Koichi's mum actually feels guilty, and that actual thing bit on the chest, and then she has to Koichi has to basically fight it off and try to get it off. And in the end, he does. And then in the end, Tamami actually becomes his servant. So it's actually kind of an interesting episode overall, I must say. But overall, it's a freaking amazing episode. Koichi Stand, so much God Sauce, like in just that one scene, I must say. Not expect no fight Cell, go also Goku's help to take down Cell, but I want to see what happens next. In a sense, I love this anime because it just makes me want to see what happens next. It's one of those animes that keeps me invested into the world and know what happens next. Because Keiichiro seems like he's put a lot of like stand users on the map. I want to see who else he's actually inflicted this whole entire thing on. Because he actually inflicted on Tamami. So I want to see who else he actually inflicted on. What other stands he's actually put these people with. Since can it get worse and worse? Can it actually get put to a point where it's worse than Dio? I'm not too sure, but either way, it's going to get interesting. Also, Red Hot Chili Peppers also has the bow and arrow as well, so he's actually putting more stand users on the map. I'm not too sure, but either way, I'm freaking damn interested to find out what happens next, because this anime is so freaking amazing. I can't say anything against this anime. This anime is so freaking great. I want to see what Koichi can do next. I want to see what Josuke can do next, because Josuke actually did appear in this episode quite a bit, and since he actually was in this episode at the middle-ish part, and since we actually managed to actually get the money back for Koichi, but not really, since he actually managed to actually kind of get the whole guilt off of Okuyasu and Koichi, so he actually does appear in this episode, but the star of the show was really Koichi. Koichi was really the star of the show, and he did actually deliver. He managed to carry that whole entire episode on his own, with a little bit of help of Okuyasu and Josuke, but still, he managed to actually carry that whole episode on his own, so it actually tells you these characters are pretty freaking well written, because they can actually carry the episode on their own. So yeah, I like where this is actually going. So, with all that said, I've been a driver. If you leave a like, do leave a like. It does help me quite a bit. Leave a sub. Do leave a sub. It does help me quite a bit. But with all that said, I have been the driver. And I will see you later. Bye for now.